What's up? It's Travis with Death Metal Barbecue, and today is story time. What actually happened to the cook trailer? We begin our story in Crawford, Texas, about 30 minutes outside of Waco. I had Mrs. Death Metal Q with us, as well as the little metalheads, the kids with us, and they all did great. Everybody had a great day, going home on a high note, and we're driving back. As we're driving back, I'm carrying a 18-foot trailer, weighs about 4,000 pounds. I mean, it's pretty light load, but it's nothing too crazy. The car in front of us swerved, and I was like, we have an 18-foot trailer, so whatever it is, we're going to hit it because the grass was just off to the right, and there was no escape route for us. So whatever it was, we were going to hit it. Well, it wound up being a piece of metal. Did what I could. I hit it pretty hard. It actually wound up cutting one of the tires down. Big problem with that, though, is that when I hit it with the tire, it flung the piece of metal back into the trailer, which actually pierced the hole. Now, I don't know what the metal was, where it came from, who it came off of, but it was nuts. I sent that piece of metal up through the hole of the trailer. Well, through that hole, right behind it, happened to be the 12-volt system, which was a lithium-ion battery. Unbeknownst to me, it sparked and caught fire in what the fire department called a thermal runaway. Now, we're driving along, because I don't know this is going on, and a truck comes up to the left of us and is just pacing us, just sitting there back and forth, waving us down. I thought he wanted to pass me, and I'm like, the lanes are open, go ahead and pass. Finally, I roll down the window, and he says those words that I'll never forget. You're on fire. Those are the words you never want to hear. You're on fire. So I safely got pulled over, got out to inspect what was going on, and all I could see was smoke. I looked behind the trailer, and for probably 500 yards, 35 is just ablaze. It is all on fire. So we go ahead, we get the kids out. I have my wife take the kids up the road because it's barbecue. It's competition barbecue, competition steak. So I hate to use the word accelerants, but the trailer was filled with it. I had propane, butane, charcoal, gasoline, everything you need. It happens to be explosive. So once the kids were safely out of the way, I thought maybe I could put the fire out in the trailer. So what did I do? I did the dumbest thing that I probably could have done in that situation. I opened the door. The second I opened that door, oxygen was introduced. Anybody who's been in barbecue or steak knows. Oxygen plus fire equals a hotter fire. Well, it turned into a raging inferno damn near instantly. So I slammed the door shut, and the pressure was so much, it took all of my force just to get the door closed. I got it closed, locked up, and now it was time to call 911. Well, we're in between Hillsboro, Texas, and Alvarado, Texas. Literally the middle of nowhere, 35. Little did I know, calling 911 in the middle of nowhere between Hillsboro and Alvarado, Texas, the events that were about to take place. You can't make this stuff up. It happens to me. When you know me, you know it actually isn't that far-fetched. So I got bounced around 6 times, by the way, between the city of Hillsboro, the county, and Alvarado. Finally, they decided where I was at, it was going to be Hillsboro. Once I finally reached somebody who could actually help me, I informed them that the grass on 35 was on fire. My trailer was engulfed in flames. At this point, the fire is getting really hot because I just introduced all that oxygen, and now we're starting to get close to taking the truck out. Hillsboro said, okay, the fire department's on the way. So we said, okay. We hung up the phone. From there, I tried to get the trailer off. This trailer is super heavy. I can't get it off the hitch of the trailer because it's an electric jack, and the fire has now killed all the electricity to the jack. I didn't have enough time to try and hand jack it. Luckily, around that same time, two guys cut across both sides of 35, Dukes of Hazzard style, in between the medians, and came over to me and tried to help me save the truck. I told them, I've been trying, the jack doesn't work, I can't get it off, and it's too heavy for us to lift it off. Well, when you got two country guys in the middle of nowhere in a big F-350, they got some tools on them. These two guys pulled out a sledgehammer and a pick, and I'm not sure what the pick was used for, but for whatever reason, they had it. Thank God they did. Took them about a minute and a half of hammering on the back of the truck, and they were finally able to drop the hitch, and I was able to save the truck. At this point, it's the middle of September. It's hot as hell. Thank God these two older ladies stopped to help the kids and the wife. They allowed them to sit in the AC of the car while we waited for the fire department. Now, when the fire department shows up, we're in the middle of nowhere, between Hillsboro and Alvarado, as I said. It's a little brush truck, and it can't do a damn thing about the trailer being on fire, because at this point it is engulfed in flames. So they move on to go and try to put out the grass fires that I started along 35. Before I know it, here comes another brush truck. They stop. They can't do anything. They go to assist with the grass fire. At this point, I'm just like, I don't know what's going to happen. Finally, 45 minutes after the initial call, they had to send a fire truck all the way from the city of Alvarado to put out the trailer fire. At this point, gas cans have exploded, my fire extinguisher exploded, butane, propane, everything's starting to blow. On top of that, it's a lithium-ion battery, so it's a super hot fire. They have to switch to foam. It took them almost an hour and a half to put out that fire. Once they finally got the fire under control, you could see the extent of the damage, and it was catastrophic. There was no saving anything on that trailer or in that trailer. They said I couldn't use the grills anymore because the foam they had to spray on the lithium-ion battery was toxic. So now I'm out 2 grills. Come to find out, it didn't really matter, because once the fire was out and I got to look inside, a Hasty Bake Ranger completely melted. It was hot enough in there to melt steel. I had a M Grills M80. It was also half melted. All of my smokers were gone. So at that point now, my cooking career is over. I've got nothing left. There's nothing left to do besides head home and see what the insurance would do. And that's where the story gets really crazy. Once we make it back home, the next morning it was time to deal with insurance. So I gave them a call and let them know what happened. Well, they started looking at the policy. We got in with Caliber Collision here in Keller. By the way, spoiler alert, I do not recommend you ever take any vehicle to them ever. Literally the worst experience of my entire life. Anyway, once they started reviewing my policy, when I got the policy, I was told it was covered under comprehensive. Well, unbeknownst to me, the second I dropped that trailer from my hitch off the truck, trying to save a $100,000 truck, by the way, my comprehensive went out the window. Now the trailer is its own entity, which I didn't have insurance on because I thought it was covered under comprehensive. Once they tell me that they're not going to cover the trailer, I'm shit out of luck. There's nothing I can do. All the years that I have spent building my whole cooking rig all burned up in flames in a matter of an hour and a half. It was all gone. All I had left was a smoker that I had at home, and that's it. So from there, the rebuild begins. So this channel is now going to be a vlog of me rebuilding my cooking rig. Luckily, the cooking community is amazing. And through that, I was able to secure a utility trailer to help me at least get back out there. And I've got an old smoker that we're going to be doing some work on to try and get it up and ready to go. So if you follow along, you're going to see what it takes to become a competition cook in the SCA or in the barbecue realm. We hope you enjoy. There's going to be a lot of content coming out, a lot of grinding, a lot of welding. Do I know how to weld? Hell no. But I can grind like a mofo. So we hope you sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Because when you know it comes to me, it's always going to be a good show. All right, until next time. Death Metal Barbecue out.